extraordinary about it. My name is Ben Shelter. I'm a police detective.
What were you doing here so early in the morning?
The men come here and drink beer. They throw the cans out the window. I get paid by the load for those cans. That's all I got, except my old age money. A crook sack. What is it?
All right, take it easy.
I done lost
Take it easy,
it.
take it easy. Pete, help her find her cans.
I done lost my crook sack.
What you got? Here's another one.
You shoot a 14-year-old boy. You dump his body by the side of the road. Then you shoot another kid and you dump his body less than 100 yards away. I mean, who are we dealing with here?
You're assuming it's the same murderer.
Well, what are the odds of two different murderers dumping two bodies less than 100 yards away from each other?
Could it be a homosexual thing?
No sign of homosexual activity.
Drug connection?
No indication of that either. Another thing, the place where the bodies was dumped, far from secluded. Kids go there to make out all the time. It's just yards from the road. Jake, it's almost as if somebody wanted those bodies found.
You've been spending a lot of time on this.
Well, I still got to talk to some of their friends, teachers.
Ben, you were at the press conference Wednesday.
Yeah, I was there.
We got to make more progress on the cases we're getting the most heat from if this administration is going to have any credibility. I want all your time on the sack thing. You're the best man I got on this force. You know it and I know it.
What about these kids on Nisky Lake Road?
We'll get to somebody else to handle.
But all the good ones are tied up on the same kind of thing. Cases of middle-class victims that are drawing heat.
You think we're the only ones that have this problem with the crime rate going up the way it is? You solve the cases with the most heat on them, then you go on from there.
So we put everything we got into solving the sack case. Just forget about Alfred Evans and Everett Hope Smith.
Ben, just swing with me on this. You get the sack thing out the way. Then I promise you, I'll back it to the limit. We'll launch a campaign against all the people that are preying on these kids.
You know, Jake, it was a lot easier fighting the establishment than becoming it.
Would you like to play?
Well, I don't have any money.
Well, I'll stake you.
Gee, thanks, sir. All right. Yes, I like this.
On November 5th, 1979, another boy was found. His name was Leroy Millard James. He was 14. He didn't want to go to school because his new shoes were tight, and he was too embarrassed to wear his old sneakers.
Sit down. I'll give you dinner early. Yusuf?
He ain't here.
What you mean he isn't here?
He ain't come back from the store yet.
Well, how long's he been gone? Must be more than 2 hours, isn't it? Jonathan, go and find him and bring him home. I'll put this on top of the stove. I told him to come right back.
Brought your check. What's the matter?
Shut that thing off. Yusuf's gone.
What do you mean Yusuf's gone?
I let him go down to the corner store. I mean, just to get a tin of snuff for Miss Pearl. But he hasn't come back since. If it was one of the other kids, I wouldn't be so upset. But Yusuf's never done anything like this before.
Well, you lost him. You find him.
Don't talk to me like that.
You this liberated woman think you can handle a job day and night and take care of 3 kids? Is it surprising you can't keep track of them?
I keep track of them. Look, I'm a good mother. I'll find him. I don't need your help for anything. Nothing.
How long's he been gone?
He left here about 4:30.
All right, I'll go look for him. Don't worry.
What if he got hit by a car? We'd never know. He was just running around in a pair of shorts, no shirt, no shoes. How would anybody identify him? John!
Don't worry. I'll be back with him.
Did he ever complain about paying support?
Do you know any husband that doesn't?
Miss Bell, there are times when husbands don't like to pay support. They like to play games.
What are you trying to say?
Well, are you sure that your son just isn't with your husband?
What would he be doing with my husband?
I don't know. Maybe that's your husband's way trying to scare you so that you won't ask for no more support.
John wouldn't do that. He's not that kind of
Look,
man.
Miss Bell, now you said that Yusef's a good boy.
Yes.
Well, he ain't likely to run away.
No.
Ain't nobody kidnapped a boy for ransom.
That's enough.
Look, we checked the hospital. We already checked them all.
He's not with my husband, I'm telling you that.
Well, will you take a polygraph test?
What are you trying to say now? Are you trying to say that I did my baby some harm?
I think we've gotten enough. Thank you, Mrs. Bell.
When are you going to call me?
This afternoon.
It's the husband, Mac.
You're sure of that, are you?
What else could it be?
I don't know. I never met the husband. I don't know what kind of man he is.
Yeah, well, that's the only answer. So we're gonna find him, bring him in, make him take a polygraph test, that's all.
That'll tell a lot.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I don't believe in polygraph tests. They're unreliable as hell. That's why the courts don't admit them as evidence. In case you haven't heard.
Do you know where Yusef is?
No.
Did you cause Yusef to disappear?
No.
Did you kill your son, Mr. Bell?
No.
Sit quietly, Mr. Bell. Test is over.
Well?
There are significant signs in these last questions to indicate deception.
Where's your son, Mr. Bell?
I don't know.
You know, Yusuf, you know he wouldn't run away.
No, I don't think you would. Come on, sit down.
He wants to come to see you.
Yeah. Sat in this chair. You know, he told me what to do with the drug problem. I have a feeling that one of these days that boy's gonna be mayor.
If he's not dead.
Don't say that, Camille. We don't know anything yet.
Can you help me?
They got me working on other cases.
Can't you do anything?
Well, don't you think I've been trying? Don't you think I've done everything I can? I love that boy. I couldn't love him more if he were my own son.
Ben, I can't get him to do anything. All they do is want to ask questions of me and John. They give us polygraph tests. They won't stop asking questions. Whether I was mistreating Yusuf.
Camille, I'm going to give you some advice. Now, if you tell anyone I did, I'll deny it. You still know some people in the media from the old days, don't you?
Yes.
Last Christmas, we had Camille Bell on our program with her son, who was a gifted student. He made a speech about what Christmas means to children. If you remember him, he was quite a remarkable boy. Now, her son is missing, and she's come to talk to us about it. When was the last time you saw your son, Miss Bell?
2 weeks ago.
What were the circumstances?
He just went to do an errand, and he disappeared. And somebody must know something. A young boy just doesn't drop off the face of the earth.
Are you satisfied so far with the efforts of the police to locate your son?
I suppose I shouldn't say this.
They're hard. Does he turn that up, please? You have a great deal of Atlanta out there. They want to know your feelings. Thank you.
I can't help wondering if they're working as hard as they would if it were a white child from a middle-class background.
Chet Detlinger had a reputation in Atlanta of being one of the best men on the police force. His conflicts with the new administration had him out on the street. But in his heart, he would always be a cop.
What is it?
Get dressed.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning, man. What you want?
You can go like that if you want to.